First up on the show, let's connect with Redcliffe Labs. They've raised $42 million in a Series C funding round. They want to expand their diagnostic network across the country and focus on Tier 2 and 3 cities. We've got Aditya Kandoi, who is the founder and CEO, now joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. Let's begin with who the investors are and what the funds will be used towards.
Yep. So we're fortunate we got very like-minded investors in this round of Series C. We are having IFU, who is a Danish fund. It's a Denmark government fund investing into us. So this is a fund especially for developing countries and onto ventures which are there to make some social impact. Secondly, we have Leapfrog Investments. This is a second investment into us from them. So that adds a lot to the partnership because whenever there is an existing investor bringing in a pool of capital, I think that's a mood of confidence for the entire team. Then we have few other small investors pitching in to this round who are also our existing investors. So we raised total of $42 million in this round.
So currently tell us how many cities your services are available in, how many collection centers you currently have, what is the patient number that you have and how you plan to grow that?
And so as Redcliffe Labs, we are still a young company. We're seen as disruptor when it comes to diagnostics healthcare. And in the last 3.5 years of scale up, we started our first lab in June 21. And today we stand at 80 plus state-of-the-art labs, which are fully owned and operated by the company. With this, we have 2,000 plus collection centers who are basically feeding into the labs, and these mainly come into in the tier 2 and 3 regions. We have more than 1,000 plus phlebotomists who are on the field. And one of the interesting fact here is that out of these, 10% are women, like more than 100 plus women phlebotomists who are going home to home for sample collection, especially catering to women janta who would like to get pricked only by a woman. Secondly, they also have the capabilities to do a full ECG at home, which is a first of its kind solution available pan-India today with Redcliffe. Also, I think important to highlight, we are a company of 3,000 plus people today. And we are fortunate that we have been backed by investors like Leapfrog and IFU, who have been able to let us realize our dream. And we're a purpose-led company. So we can't be compared just be another diagnostics player. We actually stand for the people in terms of providing every Indian the right to quality diagnostics. And one might ask that why is it important? Why diagnostics is important for everybody? Today, this is the only source of truth one have as a pre-intervention to know that how is your health. And only once you know that what problems you have, or even if you're healthy, how to stay in a right lifestyle, have a right diet to stay healthy forever. And so we are on a mission to keep India healthy. And with this, I think we have reached a scale where we are present in 220 cities. We are on an everyday basis catering to more than 15,000 customers and processing more than 70,000 tests daily with the network I mentioned.
And I understand as well that your operating revenue has surged nearly 2.6 times in FY23 from what we saw last year. But at the same time, your losses as well have ballooned quite significantly to nearly 340 odd crore rupees. What is the plan to scale down your losses and how do you plan to grow your revenues?
Yeah, so in the last 3 years, we have seen our revenues scaling up almost 3x from FY22 to 24. We closed FY24 at almost $45 million revenue. And this year we plan to do $60 million plus revenue. So this will be the last financial year, FY24-25 will be the last financial year when we gonna see any losses into the company, because as you know, that every venture once started has to go through the cycle of really investing into the growth and investing into building a brand. And I think we are almost at the cusp of, or rather at the inflection point, where we can call ourselves to be profitable in a few months on a monthly basis. But if you look at on a yearly basis, FY26 shall be the first year where we'll see a full year of profitability for Redcliffe.
And you're also in advanced discussions with a potential partner for diagnostic chains. Can you update us on the same?
So for us, growing from a current network of 80 labs, we are targeting to go into the underserved regions, especially the tier 2 and beyond, and open another 100 labs in the next 3 to 4 years of time frame. So every year, just a ballpark, 25 to 30 labs is something which we look to open. This will be an organic expansion. When it comes to inorganic, it's interesting that, as a pathology company, we want to be a complete diagnostics plan. For us, radiology becomes an important play. So in the coming months and years, we are looking to scale up through a lot of inorganic expansion as well. We did one of the assets in northwestern India, which was in Rajasthan, and able to grow that, able to successfully integrate and grow that asset in the last 17, 18 months to almost 40% growth. With the similar kind of experience we had and successful acquisition and growth, we're looking to certain parts of India we identified, especially west and south, where we're gonna go aggressive in terms of our inorganic as well. And there's a good pipeline available with us. And these are all doctor entrepreneurs who have been pretty successful in the last many years of their scale up journey. And these are few centers which they have been able to scale up on their own, and we wish to partner with them strategically to expand and further their growth in their regions through the inorganic strategy, if that helps.
And you're also competing with a lot of players who have a very big presence in the space. PharmEasy, owned Thyrocare, you've got 1MG, Dr. Lal Path Labs. These are very well entrenched players. How do you plan to take on the competitive intensity?
See, I think definitely this is a hyper competitive space. Now, how in the last 3.5 years we were able to come to this stage where we can say very confidently that FY25 will be a formidable year by raising funds as well as peddling the growth, is to get the main thing right. It's about the consumers. Now, traditionally, that was there were different ways of scaling up, and people took 50, 60, 70 years. They had that liberty and independence to grow over so many years to reach a scale. But today, in the fast-moving world, I think technology is with us to disrupt, and this disruption is on the basis of certain foundations which are very clear to us. What a consumer wants, and the entire offering of Redcliffe is designed around the needs of the consumer. So first is the most important one is awareness. So if you're not aware, you can't get tests done. And today, with on this awareness theme, we started investing 3 years back, and today we have more than 2.5 million customers or patients looking at our website organically, looking at our blogs, which we call the My Health blog section on the website. So all of these are organic customers, apart from being any paid acquisition, and we are able to give the right kind of information which a consumer wants today and should be aware of it as well, that what kind of test they should do, what is the test all about, when should they do it, what is the frequency, whether they should do it for their family members, whether they should recommend to their friends. All of this in very simple languages, vernacular languages, we have that content. Even on the social media, we are number one when it comes to creating that kind of awareness and talking in very plain simple language through the experts who are doctors as well. And today we on Instagram, YouTube, we have like thousands of videos who have got such a organic mileage because we talk in simple terms. Second one is affordability. Now, since we are a purpose-led company, for us pricing does matter from the consumer lens set as well, because if they're not able to afford it, they will never be able to go for the right test and at the right time with the right frequency. So we are almost 30-40% cheaper than when it comes to incumbents, and very true to stay always very true to the pricing. Third important factor is accessibility. Now, how do you take these so many labs to the doorstep of these consumers? So for us, we could have just operated with 10, 20 labs in metros and tier ones and try to ship all those samples from tier two and beyond to these labs. But for us, I think accessibility was a theme. We wanted to be there at the doorstep of the consumers for not just the home collection, but also the processing. So that the turnaround time of our test is super critical for us. We know that somebody who is having an illness or even a chronic would need the test in the same day, would need same day, and we just in a few hours. And the fourth one is the most important one is accuracy. So you do all of this right, but you don't get the report right. So we invest in Six Sigma, we invest in NABL accreditations, and we ensure that what we are able to deliver in the metro and tier one, we are able to deliver at the in the tier two and beyond regions as well.
And what's the long-term growth plan, if you could just walk us through?
For us, in the next 3 years, we'll, as I said, for the next 2 years, we're looking at a 35% plus growth in every year, and then reaching almost a significant milestone by FY 27, 28 is a year where we think we can really touch 1,000 crore kind of top line as a company, and be among the top 3 players in India when it comes to direct to consumer diagnostics.
All right, good to have you on board. Thanks for joining in. Let's move on.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.